Greetings. I've been gone for a while. I had no real reason for it other than school started, and I had to get ready for a short period of time. But I'm back, and I thought I'd make a more different video this time. Again, there's no script, so whatever I say here will probably contain a lot of stuttering. And, probably be terribly paced, but I hope I can still make it interesting. I feel like this channel, even though it is mine, doesn't really know much about me. In a sense of, you guys probably don't know a lot about who I genuinely am, or what I'm up to, or stuff like that. This is because isn't what this channel was about. This channel was made for other things, animations and stuff like that. But this is personal stuff. This is personal information. It's not something like my social security number or anything. I won't reveal any of that here if you're interested in that. In fact, never will, because I'm not stupid. But more information you get from me if you were to, I don't know, talk to me on the bus for a long time. Stuff like this I don't usually post just because I never see any reason in it. I don't really have much use of connecting to you guys on a personal scale because, well, I could give you information about me, but you couldn't really give anything about yourself. And although this channel has only 8 subscribers, there used to be more, and whoever those 8 are, you're still a number. So when it comes to the channel size, I mainly hope that this channel will one day just, I don't know, blow up out of the blue, and maybe this video will be found again and will have some use to you guys. Which I suspect probably won't happen unless I really push this channel to its limits, which I just don't have the time for, nor the energy, nor the money. You see the problem. But the chance is still there for it to just randomly happen. Like, anybody could find these videos. Anyone. Chaos theory. Small things cause bigger issues. If you can consider that an issue. Wouldn't be one for me unless it's negative or anything. Yeah, whatever. Nevertheless, I'm already a few minutes into this and I haven't actually talked about myself. So let's start off with the first chapter, shall we? I'm not going to tell you my name, plainly because I like to keep this identity of myself rather anonymous, and keeping my name just kind of adds to this character I'm trying to portray here. So yeah, this is all just a big act, but don't get this wrong in any way. I'm not stupid enough to tell you I want to act anonymously and then give you information about myself. I say anonymous in the sense of not my actual personality, but more the personality I'm trying to display here. And my name's kind of a part of that, or a hint to it, so I want you to keep guessing on that. I myself am Macedonian, though. If you don't know what Macedonia is, it's a very small country in the south of Europe. My parents are from there, at least. I myself was actually born in Austria. But the thing is, I don't consider myself Austrian in any way, because this place just doesn't feel like home. At least not like Macedonia does, and that's probably just genes. So, yeah. I also am 6'2". Yes, I'm a very big boy. My bones are huge. My bones are long. I'm the long bone man. Besides that, as you can tell, I'm more creative, I guess. I used to consider myself an artist until I got to the point where I thought, maybe I shouldn't be as disrespectful and just claim that I'm an artist only because I draw whatever shit comes to my mind. Especially when other artists put a lot more work into theirs and a lot more thought, more than me at least. I draw a lot too, yes, but that alone doesn't define an artist. An artist creates massive, distinguished worlds. And although I have created worlds, I just don't consider them on that level yet. At least, well, until they're released. Because at that point, what else could I consider myself? I mean, if I actually do something, that has to be something to identify myself with. So, yeah. I'm probably not gonna actually mean it though. I'm more just gonna use the name of artist in a sense of I just use it to have anything to identify myself with. And that is not in a gender-ish sense. Artist is not a gender, if you're getting this wrong, but more in just a sense of what do I do and so on. So, yeah, that's that. I'm also still a student, not a university student, but a high school student. As you can tell, I'm not a very huge man. I am basically what the average teenager looks like. I also talk the same way. I act the same way. No grown man has these types of hobbies. At least not on my type of scale. And I'm also terrible at math. I almost failed class because of it, in fact. I I have a huge problem with math, and I regularly underestimate it. So that's a pretty big deal for me. But that's a more personal problem. That's not necessarily noteworthy. Besides that, I'm a huge geek. I have a lot of books, a lot of games, a lot of comics too. A lot of them are more virtual. I can't find any actual like comic books that I want to read physically, so I just read them as ebooks. But still, I have a lot of them saved, so yeah, that's that. In fact, when it comes to drawing, I remember my first ever drawing was a comic book. In fact, I still have a copy of it here. At least my first ever drawing that I took seriously. Everything before that was either just absolutely terrible or just black holes with whatever wax paper and pencil I could find. So, yeah, that's really the point where I started getting into it, getting into drawing. The rest is history. I'm also fascinated with space. Space is pretty fucking cool. I'm not into astronomy much. Don't get that wrong. I'm more into the actual science behind specific planets and specific things. So I'm not the type who could tell you what how the physics in space works or anything. No, I could explain to you a lot about Mars, but I couldn't actually tell you how it works. So, yeah. In fact, now that we're speaking of Mars, Mars is actually my probably favorite planet in the solar system because it's just so cool. It's very atmospheric, which I'm a big fan of. I like dystopian, more desolate atmospheres a lot. And this is not because of anything specific. I don't relate to it or anything. It's just relaxing almost. It's just cool, which is why I'm also so fascinated with Half-Life 2. Yeah, I just got from Mars to Half-Life 2 in under a minute. Half-Life 2 is an amazing game. In fact, for me, it's the greatest game ever made. Um, it's also my favorite game ever in my entire life, throughout my entire history. That is my favorite game. Um, why though? Because of that dystopian theme. The story is so fucking fascinating, and the entire atmosphere and type of world Half-Life built up as a layer over the name of gaming is it's gripping for someone like me. It's engaging, very engaging. And that's not only thanks to the absolutely fantastic writing of Mark Laidlaw, but also other things like the bang- banger soundtrack from Kelly Bailey, the amazing art direction the game takes, the aesthetics, everything from that game is absolutely perfect. And it's just fun to play through. Like if you even if you don't care about the story, the gameplay is just good. It's just very good and very enjoyable too. How replayable it is? I don't know. Depends on you, man. For me, I've played it 50 times already, more than that, most likely. And I've never had no fun with it. So if that tells you anything, yeah, I'm happy to have helped you. Besides that, though, I just have a fascination with dystopian themes, which is why I regularly implement them into my work. One instance being the Genesis. It's a great story that I personally wrote. Yes, I just called my one of my own works great, and I'm proud of me saying that because I'm genuinely proud of this of my work. So like yeah, but back to the Genesis. I basically tried to write a story about one man fighting an alien apocalypse that knows no mercy. These aliens, they basically know no remorse. They killed his family. They killed most of humanity. They absolutely fucking destroyed the planet. The ecosystem is fucked. Every city, every landmark, every place around the world scorched, and it's completely hopeless. And it's just an atmosphere I really enjoy getting more into and working on day by day, because not only is it a great environment to put characters into to try to get a story around it, like for instance a dystopian theme is just easy to create a story around. Like if you just have a world that already has built itself, that knows what it is, that you know what it is, you can get a lot of things worked around it. You can just wrap a lot of your own ideas around it and just make it original. That's where the fun comes from, because I like working around my environments and my stories and figuring out how the characters could fit into them, whilst in the way figuring out multiple different other things to just make it as detailed as possible. I'm really focused on detail when it comes to my work. Saying that though, I've never actually talked too much about my work, not only on this channel but also in my private life, because I want to be a filmmaker someday, and all of this work I have in front of me right now is, if my dream comes true, most likely gonna end up on a silver screen. So I guess I don't wanna spoil anything to my future audience if they're gonna watch it at all. I just don't know, man. I just hope for the best. So excuse me saying so little about these things and then claiming so much about them. Not not like claiming they're great or anything, but um other things. You know who you are. You know what I'm talking about. But there's a lot to it, and I just don't want to waste it all on one sitting when I could use that time to work harder to get it into a to get make it much bigger and have a much bigger impact through cinema. So yeah, I'm not wasting my time explaining everything I'm thinking of to the people around me right now because I'd rather just use that time to build up to a point where I can explain it to the entire world in a much greater, more epic, more stylized fashion. So that's that. And now that we're talking about dreams, I think we should get to the next chapter, um, which is a lot more special to me than it might be to others. But this one's called What I Think of My Future. I can't think much of my future. I'm very bad with time. Time's my greatest enemy. I can't get things done on time very often. I struggle to figure time out. It's not like reading a clock or anything. I can do that, but just sometimes I just get lost in the moments. Oh, I easily forget what time it is. I easily forget how much time I'm wasting. I easily get through time. In fact, it's gotten to the point where I feel like time is messing with me because it knows what I have to go through with it, and it just wants to fuck me for it. like one morning, time just passes like a bullet speeding across your face. Another morning, like today's morning, it takes forever to get done, and I just have all the time in the world. It seems I fucking hate it. I literally don't believe you when you're telling me 1 minute is 60 seconds or anything. No, it varies, brother. It varies. I tell you that 1 minute. It depends on what time it is that it gets shorter or longer. That's just how it works. Okay, you can't tell me anything else. I won't believe you. I have seen it myself. Time itself probably is like a conscious being that knows what it is and what it wants to do, and it just decides to speed up whenever it wants to or just slow down just to mess with people. Just because time is a fucking asshole. Okay, excuse the language, but like, time, go fuck yourself. But anyway, time is just a big problem for me, you know? And so the future is an even bigger problem to me at that, because the future is a point in time that I have no idea about, or can't figure out, or can't predict, because I'm no master, first of all. I'm as much a human being as you are, so I couldn't tell time or the future at that. And three, and this one's most important of all, I suffer from the consequences of the future. I'm not entirely independent on a natural scale. So, like, whatever the future takes along with itself, I cannot avoid. I can't avoid getting hit by it. That makes it just all the more worse, because I know that I will be hit by something, but I don't know what it is. I don't know when it will come. I only know that it will come. And that is not only a scary combination, like a very, very fucking frightening one, but also just so annoying I just don't understand why it is that way. And some of you may tell me that's just how reality works, right? No, reality could have worked much different. If the man up there wanted reality to be different, he would have done it, you know? Like there's a higher power in all of this, right? That decided it was gonna be this way. And I struggle to deal with it. I not only struggle to comprehend it because I'm a minor being, a very, very minor being, who is not only very gullible, but also very, very blind in it on a consciousness scale, and very young at that. Meanwhile, I'm trying to get around it consciously. It's it's just terrible, but it makes for a great story, I guess. So I guess if that's the direction God wants to go, just create an engaging story. Well, he's how can I say he's doing God's work. Nevertheless, it's just very, very difficult to get around time for me, and so telling the future is just a big problem for me. I can only hope, like all of you can, hope for the best, pray, do whatever is necessary, or whatever think might be necessary to get what I want. Put the work in and stuff. Just try my best to to maybe get around it. And yeah, that's that. This next chapter is called My Social Life because that is also a very, very important aspect of me. And most likely the most saddening one of them all. Um, I take my social life a bit too seriously. Who am I trying to fool here? I take it way too seriously. I It's not like I'm depending on people, right? It's not like I want to be popular or anything. That's not what I'm trying to achieve, but I'm just, trying to get around the people coming my way because some of them will either try to help me or will try to do the exact opposite of that, and I just have to work around the reality of that. It's like time in comparison. I just don't know what's coming at me, and I have to do my best to get around it. And like it is with time, I'm absolutely terrible with it. So I'm terrible at talking, first of all. I'm terrible at socializing. I literally, for the life of mine, can't stick to one simple way of living around people. It just mixes up on its own, and it just starts to evaporate and just come back and fill the jar back up again like rainwater in the ocean. It's uncontrollable. It's an absolutely terrible system for that use at least. And well, quite frankly, like most people I talk to, you probably won't understand what I'm saying here. Basically, what it is I'm not only a massive introvert, but I'm also a very, very terrible person at talking or communicating as a whole, which is terrible because I'm supposed to be a social species, a human, however social a human might be, and I'm supposed to rely on people, right? Like, apparently nobody can get away with things on their own. Nobody can get things done on their own, even though it's proven to be the exact opposite multiple times throughout history. And the thing is, I'm against that type of criteria, right? But there's no way around it. Society has just formed itself into a being that thinks it has to be this way, even though it's trying to tell us it could be different, right? But it's lying to itself. And I can't do much about it because I'm one man. It's confusing. It's very confusing, even for me. Um, but basically, how do I work around this? Basically, I have my ways around things. I mostly stick to myself. First of all, I don't talk to too many people. I don't have too many friends. I have like a handful, and that's fine. And I just try my best to avoid people, plainly because it could have some positives, but in long term, it may just have some negatives, plainly because the people here are just not like me, I guess. Speaking of difference, there that also plays a big role in things because, as I said, I'm Macedonian, and I'm not trying to put race into this, right? But like, I get looks. That's still a thing. So that's still a thing I'm actively trying to fight in my daily life. And next to that, I'm I'm an immigrant. I'm a Macedonian person trying to communicate with people from not only born but also genetically just bonded to the country I'm in right now. And it's an absolutely terrible combination. It's like putting two red wires together. It just doesn't work. Like it's like putting two magnets of the same type of pole together just because you want to see if they can connect. And then when you let go, they just fling away from each other because that's not how physics works. That's not how you built this society to be. That's not what you expected to happen, right? That's not how you could control it. And yet you still tried to do it. You fucking dumbass. Whatever. I don't care. At least I'm back alone again. At least you found out that it doesn't work, right? You're gonna try again, aren't you? I got a bit out of hand there. Excuse that, but basically, what I'm trying to say is, hold on, let me have a. Basically, I'm trying to say here, I'm a bit energized now thanks to the drink I just had. Drank a bit of iced tea. Do you know what iced tea is? Yeah, it's like tea. It's like tea with ice in it. Yeah, that's like the good stuff, eh? Yeah, whatever. Basically, I don't go well with people. Next to all of my social issues, and that's not necessarily because of racial difference, but also because of character. I have a very, 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 very distinct type of character that keeps changing every single day, at least a little bit. And that's an issue for the people around me trying to do their own best to communicate because they also follow the system, right? They also realize they have to do something. And thanks to me being so different, this just a struggle. The thing is, and I don't blame anyone on it, they give up easily because they'd rather find simpler people to be with, and that's completely understandable. What isn't understandable to me though is discarding people with through brutality, vocal, physical, whatever. And and that's where most of the trouble comes in. It's always been like that. If I've ever been tossed away, then then it was with hatred, hateful intention, because I'm probably just that different from people that they just can't help but toss me away like they wouldn't toss away anybody else in a negative sense. And I don't really know what to think of it. How am how am I supposed to fight it back? Again, I keep ignoring people, but because of that, I myself try to avoid them because of such instances. I But that just isn't enough. I still go to classrooms full of people who can easily just turn around to me and just call me a piece of shit just because I said one thing that may even just have some sense to it, or that I might just, or they could just turn around and instead make fun of whatever I said because apparently what I believe is nonsensical and what they believe is totally right and awesome and great, even though nobody agreed. And it just leaves a hole. It just batters batters a deep hole into it. It's a deep impact because sure, there's nobody there for them except those two people lined up on the same table as them, who managed to communicate with them. But then I'm there with nowhere near the same amount of luck. Uh, why? Because it's just how it is, man. It's just what I'm like. Saying all of these things, you and I, just to make it clear, notice that I'm again very bad at explaining. Um, for all I know, some of you may have just not gotten a thing of what I just said, but I hope you can think around it and just understand. If you don't, I don't blame you again, but just don't make fun of me for it, okay? I really can't use it. Shortly put, um, when it comes to socializing, I'm on the same page as everybody else. Um, I succeed less often though, and that's mostly because of me. But it it's not like it's not like I confront the people negatively, right? It's just I rarely confront people to avoid any of the negativity. In which case, no positivity can occur. But well, I'm fine with being neutral. Um, thing is, there's nothing but negative energy coming up from the other side, and I can't do much about it because I'm bad at talking to people. I'm bad at getting people on my side. I'm bad at communicating. And again, social species, right? Very, very scientific stuff. We are made to communicate with each other, right? Tell me something else. I'm not listening to that bullshit. It's just not true. Honestly, it's not like I don't agree with science or something here, right? But it's just not true. We're not a social species, not entirely at least. We can talk, we can communicate, but other animals can too, and they're not considered social. So why should we be? I I just don't get it. I just don't get how this formula can just be decided on being true. Just because a lot of people are kind of guided by it. But nevertheless, I don't communicate, plainly to avoid negativity, but also to just stay neutral. But there's no neutrality in it. There's plain chaos or goodness, and the chaos comes first when you play it like that, and I can't avoid it because I don't know how to avoid it. I don't know the steps. That's uh, that's bad because that leads to bad talk. That leads to a lot of negative ideas. That leads to a lot of anger building up, and I don't really like being angry. I really don't. But I mean, I'm the one getting spit on, and I have no exit. So that's that's the reality of it. Well, from most people at least. I'm happy to know there's at least a few people out there that have no idea what I'm talking about and are on the complete opposite terms. In which case, friends and family, you know who you are. I am most grateful for your existence, and I'm most grateful for you not being like these people, and that I'm able to actually show myself in a different light in front of you. Thank you for not just spitting it all in my face and doing me wrong for it instead of just not agreeing or agreeing and having conversations like people in a thoughtful, heartful community, heart filled. I'm gonna end it here, mainly because it's already been a whole 40 minutes of recording, and my safe space is running out. So yeah, please excuse that. I might get back to the topic again, but I have to get this video done, and well, I guess I can work around it better once I'm feeling a bit better about it. So, thank you all for listening. All fantastic, amazing 8 of you. Whoever else is gonna come by and watch this video in the future. I hope at least. Thank you for being there, and I'll see you again some other day. Good day.